Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day, afternoon, or night. Uh, Clearly, this is a bit of a different video, considering how it is the long-awaited part 2 of the ASMR ranking my favorite DC and Marvel characters. So, the reason I decided to change the format is mainly because when I do the ASMR, it kind of hurts my voice a bit. I'm not as good as the others who can do it all the time. So I thought this time we would just do it normally. And I don't have my face in the shot because I want to get the Lego guys much more of a focus. So with that out of the way, let's get started. So I thought we would do the blasters first, or in some of their cases, guns. So let's do the first one. So first we have the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. By no means a bad character, but pretty basic. So, as you can see, I gave him an AK from Brick Arms, so that is not his default weapon. But yeah, if you want like a battle pack character, this would probably be the most common. And unfortunately, he comes in last. Next, we have the Atdp Pilot, I believe. And again, another pretty cool character, but I am a little bit ashamed that they did not make a unique helmet for him. Mainly just because the helmet is very cool, and also Ezra Bridger wears the helmet a lot in the series. Now, not technically a blaster character, but I didn't want to include him in the lightsaber or force wielder characters, and we have Grogu. So he's the only reason he's last is mainly not last, but very close to, is mainly just because, well, he's kind of small. And honestly, it's weird. Mainly just because he can be held in a character's hand, which is just kind of weird. So yeah, not a bad character overall, but he takes the bronze in last. Now we're getting into the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Again, he has a Brick Arms AK, so that's not part of his thing. So this character, I think, only appears in one set. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's the Mini Clone Turbo Tank. And considering how that set is long been decommissioned and retired, I think this character may be pretty rare now. I don't know. I haven't checked the prices, but he may be going for some money. So yeah, he takes fourth from last. I just knocked over Grogu. Now fifth is Crosshair. So Crosshair. Now this is a problem I have with Lego. They don't seem to like Phase 2 helmets with antennas. And the biggest example of this is Rex, because that is probably the most infamous example. But Crosshair is just kind of, he's basic. There's not that much detail. The head is kind of weird. It's got this weird kind of visor that goes around it, which I know is how it is in the show. But it just looks kind of weird. And they are reusing the Phase 2 helmet, which isn't what their helmets are. Their helmets are almost prototype Stormtrooper helmets. So, unfortunately, he has to go in fifth place to last. So, this one is a bit more unique. It is the Snowtrooper. And I added this because I thought it could be a signal jammer, because that's what it looks like. And again, got another Brick Arms AK. Thankfully, this is the last one that I have, so no more AKs. So this one is pretty cool. I definitely think that the old Snowtrooper helmet is much more iconic, it looks a lot more, I don't know, it looks a lot more tactical and heavy, but this one definitely looks more movie accurate. And I'm just going to say it right now, why don't we have a Galactic Marines minifigure? It wouldn't be that hard. All you'd have to do is just repaint or print this a little differently and give it a better body. So yeah, I can actually see a Galactic Marines character happening. So yeah, he goes 6 from worst. And now we probably have the, not the most expensive, but it cost me the most to get. We have the UCS Clone Commander. Now, this came with the UCS gunship back in 2021. And he's only appeared in one other set. He's not really, it's not really a battle pack, but it's one of those things you can get at the store, and it's got like the 3 characters and a mini build. So yeah, he's kind of hard to find if the packs are sold out and you don't want to spend $350 on a freaking gunship. So yeah, but other than that, I was almost debating putting him second to last because the markings are the only thing that really differentiate him from that, and the leg printing. But then I did a bit more looking and I realized this character is pretty good actually. So yeah, he gets put 6 from worst. Okay, so now we get into the first Bad Batch member. And unfortunately, it just sucks for how much I love the character, but it's Echo. So Echo is kind of weird in this, mainly because he doesn't have the Scomp Link hand. So they give him a gray hand to kind of make up for it, but it doesn't really work. However, they do give him some arm printing to make up for it a little bit more, so that is a nice touch. And I will admit, the head does look very nice. It does look very accurate. The helmet is also very accurate. Unfortunately, they're still using the Phase 2 helmet, so unfortunately, he has to go from 7th to worst. 7th worst. Next, we have Hunter. So, I was almost debating putting Hunter below Echo, but unfortunately, I wanted to put Hunter a bit higher because I do like him a bit more, and also just because he reminds me of Rambo. Mainly just because, other than the Phase 2 helmet, they got him pretty damn accurate. The leg printing is very nice. The only thing that they didn't get right is the blaster that I added. But yeah, other than that, everything about Hunter is very nice. So he goes 8th from worst. Next is the big, lovable teddy bear of destruction himself, Wrecker. Wrecker is another very nice character, and I definitely do like the modeled armor piece and how it has the skulls on it, and I don't like this kind of headpiece, mainly because it's mainly used for Iron Man, which I hate, because why? Why would you remove the liftable helmet piece? But for Wrecker, I think it fits very nicely. It fits his helmet design very nicely, and it looks like a genuine recreation of Wrecker. Granted, it does look a bit small considering Wrecker is supposed to be probably around the average size of a Wookiee. So he goes in 9th worst. And now, moving on to the final member of the Bad Batch, we have Tech. Now, Tech, when I saw Tech and he was part of my favorite list, I knew he was going to be the top of the Bad Batch. He is completely different. He has a completely unique head mold. He has a backpack. He has dual pistols, and he's got very nice printing on both his chest and his legs. So yeah. And we also finally get to see what Tech would look like without his goggles. Pretty standard, but either way, when I saw this, I knew there was no competition with them, and I knew that Tech would be the top of the Bad Batch. Unfortunately, though, they didn't really wow me as much as I thought they would, so unfortunately, Tech is 10th worst. So I wanted to throw this guy in here mainly because of just the fact that he comes from one of my favorite sets, the Imperial dropship, and this is 20th anniversary Han Solo. He's got the 20th anniversary Star Wars thing on the back there, and yeah, this honestly looks just like the 1999 Han Solo, but with just the 20 years of Lego Star Wars on his back. So I put this guy kind of in the middle. So I was never a big fan of the yellow Star Wars figures, mainly because they just looked weird. They honestly looked like Simpsons toys, the more you think about it. But yeah, he's by no means a bad character, and he is 11th worst. Forgot the count there. So now we technically have a Stormtrooper pilot that came with Vader's castle. However, I think that this character was mislabeled. Now, if Lego's watching this, or anybody who works at Lego, you can correct me. Something tells me this is probably the first time we've gotten an Imperial 501st member. So let's don our tinfoil hats for a minute. This character comes with Vader's castle. Vader is the leader of the 501st, just as he was back when he was Anakin during the Clone Wars. Who else would be trusted to guard Vader's castle other than the Imperial Royal Guard? The 501st. Now, granted, none of them would ever be able to enter and see Lord Vader without his armor. But I feel as though his inclusion on the top of the temple is perfect. So that's why I think that this guy is actually a 501st member instead of a regular Stormtrooper pilot. And he even has the clone face. So most of the times I get angry when I see like Stormtroopers, and especially First Order Stormtroopers, branding the clone face. But I think this one works. Because, as stated in Battlefront 2, the 501st did remain pure even after the Clone Rebellion. So, yeah. And I just realized I geeked out about the fact that this guy was probably a 501st guy and barely talked about why I like him. So, here's him dancing. So yeah, he's okay. So he gets placed 12th worst. So now we have another very exclusive minifigure as of now. The Dark Trooper. This character only comes with Moff Gideon's light cruiser. And, well, it's not a good character to have if you're just going to get that. So the problem with it is the character doesn't hold the blaster straight. It's always at a curve due to the armor. Now, this is by no means saying that you shouldn't get the Dark Trooper. It's the most worthless minifigure of all time. Like, bruh. Like, really? No, that's not the worst character of all time, but it's a nice character, and I honestly like what they did with the head. And if, let's say, you didn't want to I don't know, for whatever reason you want to just keep a shell of a Dark Trooper, the head actually has a lot of uses that I can think of. But yeah, this character has very nice armor printing, very nice chest printing, and very nice leg printing. And honestly, the helmet is very unique and accurate. But unfortunately, the blaster armor does hold it back. So unfortunately, he is 13th worst? Yeah, 13th worst. So now we're finally getting into the best. And we're going to start out with Beskar Armor Mando. Now, this guy, he's my man. Din Djarin. with the Mandalorian armor. This is awesome, Beskar armor. So there is one thing that does put him at the bottom though, and it's the freaking gun. Like, I understand the gun is, in Lego's mind, it's pretty accurate, but does it have to be this, like, just it looks like it was just made like a hodgepodge of parts, like a lightsaber hilt, a robot hand, and a blaster. Personally, I think the flintlock pistol would be a better substitute for him. So yeah, by all means, not a bad character, but he is coming in at 14th best. Next, we have a character that actually comes from one of my favorite Lego sets, the Imperial Dropship, and it's the Shadow Trooper. And he has a gun that is actually made by me. I'm sure I'm not the first person to come up with this design, but it utilizes the standard, I call it the double barrel pistol with a black hand and a black pair of binoculars. And it basically gives it this submachine gun look. So yeah, this is a very cool character, and I like how he was remastered in the Imperial Dropship 20th anniversary. So yeah, this is a very nice character. And I did give him a clone head because I'm sure that there are some Shadow Troopers out there that probably were clones. So he gets 13th best. So now we have the old clone shock trooper. So this guy actually doesn't have red arms in the original. I added that because I think that it makes him look honestly more official. If you just keep a character that has white arms, it honestly doesn't look even like official Lego. It's weird because this is actually a Lego character. But yet when I added the red arms, he looked just more like a regular Lego character. But yeah, for an old minifigure, he is very detailed, and I think he's one of my favorite clones. And don't take this to me liking the Coruscant Guard. All except for Thorn can kindly go jump in the Zilbeast's mouth. So he goes in 12th best. Next, we have the only female character in this list. Not in this one, though. This one has some females. So we have Boca Tan Crees. This character, I cannot tell you how long we waited for this character. And she has very good printing. I love how the armor is actually shiny. The jetpack is very nice. The gray is very detailed. The helmet is, in my opinion, perfect. And the head is very nice. And it even includes the headband, I guess. And she comes with dual pistols. A very nice build for a character. And essential if you want to do a Mandalorian build. And she gets placed in 11th best. Next, we have another exclusive character that only came out in one set. That is the 212th Clone Trooper. So this guy is a little inaccurate considering how his markings are yellow instead of orange. But I think that's what makes him a bit more unique because he's supposed to have orange instead of yellow. So yeah, this guy is pretty unique. He still uses the old clone head instead of the scowl. And yeah, he's got a very nice build, some leg printing, which is always nice. And he gets 9th best. I may have screwed up the count, but I'm just going to go with it. Next, we have the old 212th clone. Now, I've made the mistake again, but I wanted to match the color. I did give him yellow arms, but it would just look weird. But also, I don't have orange arms. So, So he doesn't have an AK, but he does have an MP5 from Brick Arms, and he does have a pauldron from a Sand Trooper. This is a very nice build. So it doesn't have leg printing, but the chest printing is very nice, very accurate, and it looks exactly like Commander Cody from the LEGO Star Wars Complete Saga video game. And he gets placed at whatever number we're on, because I can't remember. Next, we have somebody who's probably given me a lot of fun over the years. We have the original 501st Clone Trooper. Now again, this guy, I added blue arms. And unfortunately, I gave him a crack. So unfortunately, that diminishes his value by probably a lot. But this guy is a legend. He was the one who started the clone. This guy, we wanted more of him. He was the one who kind of got us the 501st Battle Pack. And again, he's got another Brick Arms gun. It's the M4A1. He's got leg printing, very nice helmet printing, very nice chest printing, and he gets placed at 8th best. That's where we're on. So yeah, now we are on the front row. And what better place to start with 7th best? We have the 322nd, I believe, Clone Trooper. Now this came with the, I believe, the Arrest of Maul Lego set. Now, it's very similar to the 501st Clone Trooper, but obviously the helmet brands Ahsoka's face tattoos. Now, this is a very nice character, and it finally has a more updated clone face to look more like Tamara Morrison. So yeah, this is a very nice character and gets 7th best. Next, we have 1 out of 2 legends. We have the 501st Clone Trooper. Now, I picked the long rifle variant because he looks a lot more cool and very similar to the 302nd Battalion Trooper. He is pretty much the exact same, but the helmet is different. So compared to the old one, this is much better. The visor is shorter. The blue is more prominent. There are now gray markings to show depth and curve. This is honestly probably the best 501st. Hell, this is probably the best Clone Trooper we've ever gotten. So yeah, he gets 6th best. Now we're going to old school. We have original Boba Fett. So this guy, everybody loves him. Unfortunately, it is not the Cloud City version. So if you think I got lucky and I have him, don't feel so lucky for me. So yeah, this guy, I added in the Big Blaster. I don't think he had that. I mean, I know he has it in the Complete Saga, but anyway, this is kind of just a weird build considering how the helmet is kind of more cylindrical and round than what it is now, and the jetpack is fused to the helmet. So yeah, I will admit the jetpack does look more accurate, but it does still look weird. And the antenna is also fused to the helmet. But still a classic character, and he comes in 5th best. Now we have my favorite version of any 501st Trooper, and that is the Jetpack 501st Trooper. Holy mother of God, this character is awesome. First of all, he's modeled after the 501st Jetpack Trooper from Battlefront 2017. First of all, that's awesome. This is probably the first time. Actually, scratch that. This is probably the. No, actually, there's been a lot. Never mind. But it's probably one of the first times we've seen a clone trooper not an Old Republic trooper, but an actual clone trooper from a video game, come in to the main Lego canon. So the printing on the chest is different. It's kind of got like what the 501st Stormtrooper has. It has blue arms by default, a blue jetpack, some nice leg printing, and a very accurate helmet from the game. And he comes in 4th best. So now we have Commander Gree. This guy looks awesome and is probably the most detailed clone trooper we've ever gotten. He does have a brick arms gun. I believe it's the ACR with a holographic sight. And this guy has probably the most detail I've ever seen on any clone. The helmet is completely different. It's gray. It has a green visor. It has green markings. The amount of printing on the legs and the chest and even the back is very impressive. The only thing that holds this one back is that there isn't any arm printing, which I would have liked to see. But hey, he comes in 3rd best. And now we get down to our final 2. So first we have old Boba Fett, and unfortunately I lost his legs, but I gave him brown ones, and they don't look that bad. It does look a little distracting, but whatever. So old Boba Fett is pretty basic there. Even before, he didn't have any leg printing, but his chest also has a good amount of printing, and the helmet is done much better, and the gun is also pretty cool. So yeah, this character, to be honest, in my opinion, he should be ranked lower, but I just can't help it. It's Boba Fett. So yeah, even though he's pretty basic, he gets 2nd place. However, 1st place goes to somebody who is a lot more cool and has all their pieces. We have UCS Boba in 1st place. So this character, this is how you do Boba. Now I know the Cloud City Boba is very sought after, but look at the detail. There's leg printing, there's chest printing, I believe there's back printing, there's arm printing, there is a new unique head just for him. He gets a double barrel pistol with a black lightsaber hilt to mimic the EE3 carbine, got a rangefinder, and a jetpack, and a new updated shoulder scarf, I think, whatever. This is how you do an Ultimate Collector's Set character. Make him sought after. This is why this Boba Fett is number 1. And that does it for the blaster characters. And UCS Boba is our champion. And now we will do the lightsaber characters in another video, unfortunately. But that video will be coming up very soon. It will not be as long of a wait as the last one. And there's a lot fewer characters. So keep an eye out for that. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, Cinco de Mayo, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, whatever. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.